Good morning, my name is Maria Schmitz. Today, I'd like to talk about headlines in English. The headline is basically what makes or breaks a news story because it is what determines whether the story is read or not. If the headline is catchy, it will definitely attract people to read it. If it is not, then only a few people are going to be inclined to read it. So, headline case is simply whether we capitalize or not. Capitalization of select words visually separates the headline from the other content, which helps the reader know where an article begins. The uppercased wording alerts the reader to the premise of the piece, which can be especially important when readers skim. When we simply skim an article. In American English alone, there are at least 4 different style guides, so it's just about sticking to one. There's the Associated Press style, which capitalizes words with 4 or more letters. There's the APA style, which capitalizes words with 5 or more letters. The Chicago Manual of Style, or the SAMOS, which says do not capitalize words based on length. In that case, you'd capitalize everything. And the MLA style capitalizes major words and those with 4 or more letters. So the SAMOS, the Chicago Manual of Style, offers several principles to help writers in applying the headline case and notes that the application is governed mainly by emphasis and grammar. However, if I use British English, I observe different rules. So, rule number 1, a headline must be short and pithy. A headline must be very attractive, such that it can draw the attention of the reader and make them interested in reading the rest of the story. The headline should give the reader an idea as to what the article or story is all about, so it is imperative that we remember this when writing our headline. Headlines usually do not contain the articles a, an, the. They also rarely contain any form of the verb to be. Examples of headlines include the following. We can say, man held over murder, instead of the man was held for a murder or over a murder. Ukrainian fighters evacuated from city stronghold. Strange infection kills 2, etc. And now here are 2 British examples for the sake of completeness. The Prime Minister of Great Britain and Northern Ireland is the leader of the party that wins the most seats. Fate of Azov-style soldiers unclear after surrender. The latter is in the vein of what we've said up to now. The former again contains articles. And now let's look at the tenses. Who says tenses don't matter in headlines? The present simple tense is used in headlines when describing something that happened in the past or present. For example, heatwave punishes east. This is usually written afterwards. You can also have an example like, exercise makes you live longer, claims new study. A new study claims that exercise makes you live longer. Now, what's ellipsis? The omission from speech or writing of a word or words that are superfluous or able to be understood from contextual clues. We even use it in speech every day, as in the Collins example, I want to go but I can't, instead of I want to go but I can't go. The present progressive, or the present continuous tense, as some people know it, is used when talking about something that is developing. When we use the present progressive or continuous tense, then we omit the auxiliary verb. Hilfsverb in German. For example, poor families skipping meals and unable to afford heating, Charity says. When we want to talk about events in the future, then we employ the infinitive. The events are verbs in their base forms, which are preceded by the preposition to. So, for example, Finland and Sweden to join NATO. If headlines don't attract us to read the story, then they are said to be deficient. Next week, I'll continue with what's in a headline, because we talk about clarity, but Some headlines are rather cryptic for non native speakers of English.